Last Tuesday, the two-time MAW championship team ERL made a huge roster announcement. While the team has not released their entire official lineup for 2022, it was announced that the team has added hitting legend Rob Wiffman Piervenanzi to the team. How will this addition affect one of MAW's perennial powerhouses? Crack a cold one and let's get into it, boys.
I'm Wiffman, and I approve this message.
Depending on when you got into Wiffs, you may know Wiffman only from his recent tenure in MAW or GSWL, or perhaps his legendary run in the Palisades WBL in the mid-2010s. What you might not know is that he is arguably one of the most experienced and veteran players still active in the game today. You can find videos of Wiffman playing around the country in the early 2000s to present day and hitting nukes in almost all of them, and even throwing some filth in others. Last year, Wiffman played the MAW season with East Coast Elite, and at the United Wiffle NCT with Fuego, which both teams had the same core of Wiffman, Devin Torres, and Kenny Stingle. While Fuego had a good run at Nationals, making it to the round of 16 before being eliminated by Wiff Inc., East Coast Elite was not as successful, and despite playing well all year, fell short in tournament after tournament in the MAW regular season, only winning one event that year, which was the Backyard Brawl back in July. At the end of the season, rumors began flying that the team was breaking up and players going their own way, and that seems to be pretty much confirmed by now. That little recap takes us to last Tuesday, when ERL announced via promo that Wiffman would be joining the franchise. I think this signing is maybe a little bit out of left field, but oddly makes sense. Not to say that last year was disappointing for the ERL franchise, but I think falling short in the championship finals was definitely a bitter taste to end on, and for sure will send them into this season with a chip on their shoulder. That being said, when most teams come off of a disappointing loss and look to bolster up for the upcoming season, they typically go after a pitcher, whether it be an ace, an innings eater, or a relief guy. But in the case of ERL, they have Dan Whitener, arguably in the top 5 best ace pitchers in the country, Mike Stiles, one of the most predominant up-and-coming aces in fast-pitch wiffle ball, Johnny Costa, an experienced flamethrower in his own right, and Connor Young, who showed last year that he still has the ability to be a shutdown pitcher. What I'm saying is the roster does not lack for pitching depth, and up until this year, they complemented that bullpen with the bat of who I consider to be one of the best hitters in wiffle ball history, Kenny Rogers Jr. Kenny is, in one word, elite. That being said, whenever I saw the Wiffman signing, my first thought was, where does this leave Kenny? Kenny has been settled into the full-time DH and fielder role for the team for a while, and Wiffman will effectively be looking to play the same role for the team. So does that create tension there on how the lineup shakes out? I was able to talk to Wiffman about the signing last week, and as for the situation of playing with Kenny, he said the following: Kenman and I have been playing Wiffs together for years. We've won Wiffle Up titles as NIF and teamed up in the Palisades Wiffle League in 2016 as the Blue Jays. Whatever we need to do to win it all will be done. I am more than happy to play the field if that means hitting with one of the best of all time. I trust our team will make the right decision either way. After hearing his response and mulling it over in my mind, the more I began to shift sides and realized how much of a powerhouse move it was as opposed to a conflict of interest as I originally thought. Like I said before, ERL does not lack at all for pitching, and now they have added one of the best batters to ever do it. In fact, I think you could strongly argue that ERL now has the best 2 hitters in the country in their lineup. Simply put, it will be a nightmare for pitchers having to face this 1-2 punch of Kenny and Wiffman. However, this still begs the question of how the lineup will be worked. Manager Connor Young has a garden shed full of tools at his disposal now. Some of the best arms in the game, 2 of the best hitters to ever do it, and an interesting mix of experience in the game. Top this all off with the fact that these guys all have some rapport with each other from past years. I questioned Rob about how he thought the lineup would meld together, and he said, "The more experience you get from different teams and an alternative way of playing the game, the better you will become as a player. Don't forget, Mike Stiles' first ever fast pitch game was with me. We immediately saw a potential future together, and Connor made that happen this year. I've known Connor for 6+ years and I'm very confident in his managing and playing abilities. I think mixing generations is an advantage and hopefully leads to a third MAW championship. With this team currently assembled, I would say that anything short of a third MAW championship would be a disappointment. However, it is up to all these players to perform up to their potential, but at the same time, I think a lot of pressure will be on Connor Young to see the decisions he will make as a manager, because at the end of the day, in order for this team to succeed, it will have to be shrewdly utilized in order to reach its full potential. Before I close, I just want to float this one out there. ERL is clearly in a win now mode, and that's a perfect fit for Rob, who has talked about in the past that he wants to win at all costs while he still feels that he can play to the best of his ability. Last year, some rumblings were heard that ERL was considering playing a full season together, meaning a full MAW regular season to the playoffs, and then enter the national championship tournament together for a shot at the title. I said last summer that this would be in the best interest for everybody involved and give them the best shot at the title, which, might I add, no player on ERL except Johnny Costa has won a national championship. Particularly after the Juggernaut's landmark season last year, where they played together all season and won the national title, I think other teams will be looking to follow that same formula, and ERL is one team I think that would benefit from it greatly. However, that question is still a ways off on the horizon, and ERL is currently focused on MAW opening day and hitting the ground running in the 2022 regular season. Which, geez boys, WIF season is coming. Opening day is really not that far off. Let's go. Fire me up! That's my recap and thoughts on the ERL signing of Wiffman. Very big news and definitely raising eyebrows in anticipation for opening day. But what do you guys think of the move? How will this affect ERL's chances, and what do you expect out of them this year? Let me know down below in the comments. I would love to know. Also, I have linked ERL's social media outlets down below in the description, so be sure to check those out to keep up with the squad. As for myself, please drop a like and subscribe for top tier Wiffs content from across the country. Also, I am very excited to announce that I am going to be committing to a weekly upload schedule of every Friday afternoon. So you can expect new Wiffle Statement content every Friday to start your weekend off right. Very psyched about this, hope y'all are too. And it's not to say that I won't be dropping other videos every now and then throughout the week, but just to say that you can expect weekly content from the channel on a consistent schedule. So if you are watching this and haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that so you don't miss out. You can also follow me on Twitter at Wiffle Statement, and I'm going to wrap up here, boys. Get out there and play some Wiffs, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Goodbye.